Hey guys, welcome to the Boxcar Buddies. It's me and Dom back again. I've got my robot hand. I'm ready to avenge my own body with this robot hand. It's got a mini LED TV inside it, and it can shoot fucking lasers.
Stop that! Put that down, man!
I can't. It's my own hand.
I know, and yes...
Reach for the sky!
Stop pointing it at me! I said it was cool. Already. Now you're starting to abuse it.
Oh, I feel so strong!
It's really cool.
Look at it.
I know.
I'm like a damn Terminator.
You keep pointing it at me and at the windows, and it's amazing we haven't already been, hassled by the cops or somebody. There are houses near here.
They'd lose from my fucking lasers!
Okay. For those of you who don't know, Greg finally got himself an actual robotic hand over his former nub, and it's come fully equipped with a laser shooter right in the index finger.
It's also got...
Whoa.
A knife.
Oh, as the middle finger. He's like, don't use it in your teeth. Ew. That's not what it's for.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's exactly why I put it in there.
To
make my teeth sharper.
Oh, God. This is so weird. Hi. Thank you for coming back again.
Welcome back.
We are the Boxcar Buddies. That's Greg. I'm Don. And Greg, as we've been mentioning, he's fully functioning he's a cyborg now. He's got a robotic limb. And it's definitely scary to me, but at least now we've got some leverage over anybody who comes around here.
I was finally able to jerk it.
Really? With that?
It hurt at first. Squeezed a little too hard.
There's no for just to be clear, there's no skin grafts on that. He does not wear gloves. It's a fully metallic hand, like it's a robot. I cannot believe that you would even try.
I just got rid of the whole palm part because I was like, what's even the point of this?
What's the point? Well, for whacking it, that's exactly
the point. The cool metallic sheen of the fingertips.
That's what does it for
And
you.
the best part is, now I feel like I'm giving myself a phantom every single time.
True stranger. There's nothing feels stranger than metal on human skin.
I feel like I'm being jacked off by a UFO.
Totally. Or like the Terminator. Like, whoa.
Either or. No, I am the Terminator.
Yeah. I know. It's pretty sweet, man. Very, very cool. But anyway, Greg and I are back here again in the Boxcar. And, as you heard last week, we tried some donkey meat. We've actually got ourselves a new donkey. What up, donkey?
He doesn't like me.
Yeah, he's definitely weirded out by the hand, but I don't think he really liked you from the get-go because Greg bit him. Hi. Oh, yeah, look at him turn away so quick.
He's wincing.
Look at him turn away so quick.
He's really wincing.
Yeah, but anyway, he's a cool donkey. We haven't really named him yet. He's donkey royalty, according to the guy who delivered him to us.
How about Don Quixote?
We did talk about that. I'm still not crazy about it, but we haven't thought of anything better, so if we don't, that's a working title right now.
What about Eddie?
It's not robust enough. It's not
what
regal
about
enough.
Eddie Murphy?
Close.
What about Charles Murphy?
I'm thinking something with burrow. I need like a burrow pun in there.
How about
somehow.
burrito?
Well, that's along the lines I'm thinking of. Yeah, but like a name.
Yeah, burrito.
That's a food.
Is he not a food?
No, and that is exactly the attitude which makes him not like you. And the fact that you bit him as we were riding into the sunset last week.
Excuse
and made
me.
him drag you all that way to the free clinic.
You were going to the masquerade without me.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, you were being ridiculous, and I was
was being ridiculous.
You were?
I was the man with that hands.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
supposed to sympathize.
I had been sympathizing for weeks, but, honestly, there was this one night with the masquerade. I'll be honest, I didn't really feel like, sitting in the corner and feeding you for the all night. I wanted to like hit on some of these chicks.
Well, I
wanted
used
to
my
talk to
own
people.
feet. I was able to stack all the cocktail weenies in between my toes, and I just
I know.
sucked them out.
And believe me, people were taking notice of that.
Well,
and
yeah,
did
because
not.
it was the homeless masquerade. I was the fucking talk of the town.
Yeah, certainly. That is certainly the truth.
Also, because of all the wanted posters that they've seen in Evanston. But that's besides the point.
I know, people are really starting to take notice of that and talk about it, but thankfully with the homeless crew, nobody really, snitches get stitches, we all know that, so nobody rats. That's how we do.
You talk trash about us, then...
Yeah, but...
The hierarchy in the hobo community is kind of...
Oh, there's pecking order. For real, there's pecking
totally
order.
is.
You try and peck any bird feed in any park around Chicago outside of your allotted time, which can be found on the schedule, posted on most billboards around the homeless
Usually
communities.
memos written on Greg's List, which
Yes.
is a little magic note that we write on and pass it around, let the wind take it.
Right. You can find your schedule on any one of those methods, and that's how you find out your pecking order. But if you try and peck outside of that, boy, you're going to feel it. You are going to feel it. But anyway, what Greg and I do is we get together in a boxcar this week. This is our first time that we had the help of our donkey friend to get this boxcar. It
felt good not to pull the boxcar.
Oh, I loved it. I love this change. And I'll tell you, I'm already seeing some muscle forming on the donkey, which, Greg and I are planning to eat it once we sort of muscle it up, maybe have some fun with it over the summer, just get familiar with it, and then eventually we're just going to feast. We're going to
lull him into a false sense of security.
Totally. And grow him a little bit. We're going to have some opportunity to feed him some stuff, coat his fur in like olive oil and stuff like that.
And I'm going to turn my hand into a jigsaw.
The pinky finger is actually one of those mechanical knives, like a turkey carver kind of a thing. That's going to come in handy when we start feasting and stuff.
Oh, my designs. Brilliant.
I know. No, it's great. It's great. This is definitely your best invention so far. It's the most functional.
You know what my ring finger does?
I haven't seen, no.
It's a lighter.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. We're never going to have to worry about fire again. Starting a fire in a barrel? Dude, this is great.
The bottom of my chin feels good.
Dude, you're going to set your beard on fire. It's too close.
No.
It's too close.
Metal, not great at putting out fire.
Let this be a lesson to you. Let this be a lesson. That you should make yourself make safety manuals for the things that you invent before you
I ain't
start
gonna baby
implementing
proof this shit.
them. Well,
Only I'm using it.
well, this is what you get. Now you have this.
This was just a creator's mistake. It was just a prototype.
Great. And now you can tell everybody that when they ask about that little chimney soot streak you've got on the bottom of your chin.
It's a fashion statement.
Okay.
I'm going for like a reverse skunkage thing. You know how like old people, like their hair starts to turn white? I'm like, no, I'm going the opposite. I'm turning black.
I'll tell you what, there is some skunkage going on. Burnt hair does not smell great. Oh boy, I gotta open this window over here. Oh boy. Come on. I know, donkey. It's bad. Sorry.
It's fine. It smells fresh. It smells like old noodles.
Burnt hair. Wow, that's bad stuff. Oof. Yeah, and the ramen. And there was ramen in there for sure. Anyway, yeah, so Greg and I, we like to meet up, and we like to meet in a boxcar, and we'll talk about some various content that either one of us has been watching or reading or listening to, or, just what we've gleaned from friends of ours who we meet throughout the week, and just, have a nice discussion and take shelter from the elements and maybe find some food and all that kind of stuff. And this particular week, I was playing this game. I happened to get back to Scummies, our friend, Scumfuck Flower Boy, botanist, Cockney, transplant.
He's kind of like a troll.
Yes, yeah. He really lives in the cracks. He lives in the in-between world. Like, if cops
even though,
have raided,
his house is like above ground.
It is. He lives in like a high rise in Chicago, like on the 35th floor of some building. But every time the cops sweep that building, they for some reason cannot see his abode. They don't see where he resides. They see it as like some under construction project that's in the works.
It's like that Harry Potter train station, the 33 and 1/3 shit.
Right, whatever number it is. Exactly. They 9 3/4. That's what it is. I mean, come on, obviously. But that's what it is. Yeah, they just muggles, humans. They just cannot see Scummy's place. And ergo, it provides an excellent space for Greg, myself, Scummy,
and a shower.
Anybody to do these different things. And Scummy, he loves growing weird illicit plants that are definitely not legal in the United States. He likes to experiment and do all kinds of stuff. Greg and I will sometimes like to take advantage of his resources. We'll shower, we'll eat some of that food, some of the produce from the plants.
We'll poop.
We'll watch some movies. We'll listen to some music, all this good stuff.
Probably poop.
Definitely
multiple times.
Definitely void some bowels and all that good stuff.
Eat a cereal.
Movements. He does have great cereal. He also has one of those Tupperware pitchers with the rubber top, so it keeps all the cereal fresh.
He goes all out, like
really good.
He really wants to hold on to his Lucky Charms.
Oh, absolutely, and he should because some of those charms, he seems like a lucky guy. I think they're working.
And some of them he might be losing.
He might be.
Yeah.
Are you saying? Did you take some of them? Have you taken some Scummy stuff?
No.
You see, this is why he gives pause, like when I go back there sometimes, why he makes me recite the password and make sure that you're not with me and all this stuff. This is why.
Listen, do you want some Lucky Charms?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah,
of course
here
I
we
do.
go. It's all marshmallows too, baby.
Oh, those are so good. I love those. But anyway, okay, so I was at Scummy's this past weekend, and Scummy also has an Xbox up there, and he's got all kinds of good stuff. And so I went on the Xbox, and he had just downloaded some free game. I was like, I'm always like, Scummy, like, where do you get your games? And he's all like, oh, I'll go over there. And, I got this guy. He tells me when the games are free, and I download them, and it's all good. And I'm like, wow, okay,
your
great,
Scummy impression's getting real good.
Well, I've been spending a lot of time with the guy, Thank you. But yeah, his voice is just in my ear. I've been dreaming, and like Scummy's been like narrating my dreams, which is like been really kind of. It's very surreal. It's kind of very meta.
Too.
It's like weird stuff. It's that thing where it's like I'll be just in a dream at the grocery store, and like I've got like a hand, like arms full of groceries, and I get to the checkout counter and I just forget my wallet. So then I'm there and I try and run to the parking lot, and I'm running in place. And then all the while, all of a sudden, I hear Scummy's voice, like, through the PA system of the grocery store, like, there's a fool at checkout aisle 4. He's stuck in place. Someone help this fool. Clean up on aisle 4.
He starts going through, like, chemical recipes.
Phosphorus nitrate.
Look at the smoke. When you introduce raw aluminum with alcohol phosphate, are you expecting not to get fireworks, good sir? Beep-oo-doo.
You're getting a full chemistry lesson as you scramble around to find money.
I know, but I can't remember any of it, like, as soon as I wake up. But anyway, though, so I'm up there.
Except in this moment.
Except right now. This is the first time I've recalled it, which is very strange.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm there, and I'm playing, I'm looking on Xbox and seeing what Scummy's got. And I guess he recently downloaded this game from the Xbox store called SuperHot.
Super hot.
Yeah, it's just like that, and that audio happens a lot of the time too.
Man,
but
that game is real fucking good, man.
It is such an innovative first-person shooter game. It came out February 2016. I think
it's the most innovative first-person shooter in years.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. And I liked a lot about this game. It was a relatively short playthrough. It's one of those simplistic games that I like. The graphics of it are and the color scheme, it's very minimalistic. The game is based on the premise is that you are plugged into like a computer simulation. Your friend gives you a computer game and it's like, check this out, but in order to play it you have to hack into it. And then so the game progresses from there, and it's like you're in this level, your consciousness is inserted into like a game.
The internet.
Yeah, and then you play as a first person shooter. But in the game, time only progresses at when you move. So you can take stock of every situation you're in. If you've got 3 bad guys around you, you can just stay still, look at everybody, and be like, okay, I'm going to like hit this dude, grab this gun, and do all that. And time does not progress as long as you're not moving. So it gives you a lot of opportunities to like strategize and try things differently.
Dodge bullets.
Yeah, and that's another cool thing is that like you can see the bullet projectiles coming at you and you can move around them because, again, time's not going forward unless you're moving and everything. But it's it's a really cool game. A lot of the themes of it having to do with the system. It felt like Matrix.
You have to break the system, man.
Yeah.
Because the internet overlords find out that you've been hacking the net again.
Pretty much, and then they try and discourage you from doing it. They make you quit out of the game, and the game's really like meta in that sense. It's very aware of itself because it actually does things like make you quit to the main menu and like restart or like start a level over
how
and everything.
Handle on consoles because I only played it on PC.
Yeah.
So when I played it on PC, it would close the entire window, like all of it went away.
It didn't go that far with the console. It just booted me back to the main menu of the story, and then you have to like hold like a restart button. And then there's one point when like you're at the in-game menu, and there's 3 options of that. You can do like the game, the readme of instructions, and then just like quit. And the game like forces you to select the quit option, and then it like restarts itself. And it's just really, it's an interesting take. It's, you're hacking a computer system, and then it's all about like
system, bruh.
Yeah, it's all about consciousness and stuff. Like the subliminally, the game is always trying to tell you like there's something holding you back. Like if you want to keep playing, you got to plug in like all the way. And it's just and the way the game ends up. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just the way that it ends up is really 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 cool. And they progress that self-awareness, and they take that all the way to after the credits. When you beat the game, you get this message which is like very real world, which has to which essentially tells you have to go on social media, spread the word about SuperHot, and tell everyone specifically it's the most innovative first-person shooter in years. And
I remember when the game first came out, and I was still perusing around on social media websites because this was way before I decided the lifestyle change.
Yeah. Yep.
And like everyone's feed, it was just SuperHot is the most innovative shooter of 2018.
Exactly.
Now, is SuperHot still doing Killstagram?
What they did for the console and the Xbox is after every level, they give you the option to edit your video and then upload it to whatever you'd like. And on Xbox, they have that service where they do that with all the games. So basically with SuperHot, all you had to do was you could edit your replay video, which gets saved after every level, and then you can upload every single one. But rather than like a specific kill or whatever, and it wasn't automatic, but it just gave you that option like after every time.
It wasn't automatic with the PC version, but you could choose to be like, oh, I want to put this on Killstagram.
Gotcha.
And I thought that was just such a really fun marketing idea for a game to do, like especially when it first came out, because that's all anyone uploaded. They were like, check out this rad-ass skills I have.
Of course.
I just killed a dude by shoving a knife up his pie hole.
And look at how fast it happened.
And then I grabbed this dude by the ankles and I made him eat his toes.
And he liked it.
And he loved it. He exploded into a million shards.
But yeah. So it's innovative and it's cool and unique in a lot of different ways. I like the music. The score did like a great job of again like building suspense when you needed it to, and kind of like there are moments in the game which I thought were just really cool. They kind of take you out of yourself because of how like it's doesn't necessarily break the fourth wall, but it
breaks the fourth wall a bunch.
Yeah,
it is a mega. Well, mega.
Well, no. It not all the way, because that literally means like turning to the audience and speaking to them, and it's like that happens in this game, but it still feels like it's in the game. It's just talking to you as the player of the game. It makes the
that's exactly it. The character is you,
right?
Like it's meta as shit.
Yeah, and it makes you interact with like if there's a you playing the game, it makes that game avatar of you interact with the real world version of you that's safe at home sitting on your living room couch playing the game. Like that's kind of that's the line that it starts to tug and everything. It's pretty cool, and I like the visual of it. All the enemies are in red, all the guns or weapons are in black, and like the background is all like a version of white or gray. So it's just like very stark visually.
Minimalist that helps really tell you where enemies are.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just a lot of fun. It was a really cool. I liked the combination of like the first person shooting aspect of it, running through a room and like destroying enemies, but at the same time stopping time whenever you stand still allowed you to like make plans and strategize, and some of those levels are really, really hard, and you die like over and over and over again, but it's so satisfying when it's done. Yeah,
you got to learn when to use a gun as a shield. You got to learn when to throw weapons to use as a weapon,
which is so satisfying. There's one some of the levels they have a sword like a katana, and when you throw that across a room like a spear and stick it to somebody, oh man, is that satisfying. And it's like
then you run up to them and grab the sword back or the knife back.
Yeah, whatever weapon they have, if you just hit them with something, like they drop it and you can grab it right out of the air as it's flying towards you and in the same motion shoot somebody else. It's really, really fun, and I mean, for a simplistic, and, you know, it was, like I said, I know Scummy mentioned that it was a free game recently on Xbox, but, so I don't know how much it is or whatever, but it was...
I want to say it's about $15-$20.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It was $20 when I first bought it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still around there, and if you can find it on sale, that'd be great, but it's worth the $15 or $20 to play.
If you have a VR headset, play it in VR.
Yes, and I was reading about that, too. I heard that it was like... In terms of a game that comes out, it was quickly ported to VR almost as soon as it was available. And from what I've heard, haven't had a chance to try it, and just from playing it on the Xbox, I can only imagine that game is a ton of fun on VR. I mean, that must be great.
There's been a very few handful of games where I've gotten to play it, and I'm like, yeah, I need this in VR. Like, Resident Evil 7 was a recent game where I was like, I played it on PS4 when it came out, but I really wanted to play it in fucking VR.
Yeah.
It's just that trying to get your hands on something like that is...
Oh, yeah.
Best Buy security is way too tight for me.
Top notch.
Well, maybe not for long.
You know, that hand... There is a lot we are going to have to try with that thing. But in all seriousness...
Let's not go to Bridgeport, though. I'm wanted there, too.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. Anyway, I have no interest. But I'll tell you this, too. The Geek Squad, I was just reading something. Did you know they're affiliated with the FBI?
No.
The FBI fucking uses the Geek Squad for, like, tasks and shit. And it's not just
hacking AT-ATs.
Not just to fix their fucking computers and whatever. Like, it's for feedback on, like, weird stuff, man. Weird stuff.
We want you to put a bug in this vibrator so we can find out if this perpetrator is actually, harassing hookers with a razor dildo.
Plus, the chief loves vibrators.
The chief has a collection of them. He lets us borrow them from time to time.
They're really good. One of them's shaped like Batman.
This one's a triple-sided. It looks like a bop-it.
6 of us can use it at the same time.
This one is a bop-it.
You gotta remember the order, otherwise it's gonna squirt.
It's bop it, stretch it, pull it, twist it,
scream
it. Scream.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, SuperHot. Very, very worth playing. Very worth playing.
Wow.
Whatever method you use to play it, get down on that. It's good.
Wow. So, you know what? While we're talking about 2016 games, I want to talk about a game that I've been playing again.
Okay.
So
back to the past.
Now you see this magic little hand of mine.
I've been seeing it.
I've got a little tiny TV screen up in this bitch.
Oh my god!
And check this out. Little HDMI and USB cords, so I can watch whatever the fuck I want wherever I need to.
Jack it in there.
I just jack it in.
That's great.
So I snuck around. Scummy's house a couple days ago. He didn't know I was there.
Yeah, I bet he didn't.
And I mean, it's kind of hard for him to hear from my palm because the sound goes directly into my brain.
How do you even get in there when you sneak in? I mean,
with this hand, I can do anything.
Yeah.
I blew up his door.
You did. It must have been after I was there then, because the door was totally functional when I was there.
Possibly. It was about.
I was there like
40 minutes ago.
Okay. I figured. I was like, I was there toward the end of last week, and he was definitely still on the lookout for you, but he said he hadn't seen you in some time.
Well, I knocked on the door. I didn't hear anything, and then I just went, and
just blew it up.
Just blew up the door, and I was like, wow, no one's here. Guess I'll play some PlayStation. So I hooked up that HDMI into my hand just to give it a little test drive, because the controller is actually built into my hand now.
Oh my god, that's so great. Look at that thing.
So I plugged it in, and I saw that Scummy had recently downloaded Hyperlight Drifter.
Hyperlight Drifter.
Yes.
Cool.
So this is an indie game from 2016. It came out. It came out almost exactly the same time as SuperHot. I think it might have been
hot.
It might have been a month or so later. But in any case, Hyperlight Drifter is a Zelda roguelike. No, not roguelike. Kind of Metroidvania. Where you play the Drifter, and all the storytelling is told through visuals and conversations with people. But when you talk to people, like little picture frames pop up of events that have happened to get you way more invested on like what's been happening.
Very cool.
And the story is super vague very early on. Like, it starts out with the Drifter like in this massive pool of blood. And the Drifter keeps coughing throughout the entire game, like coughing blood up when they have these dark visions where like the screen starts to flicker black and like black rain starts falling from like the ground up.
Damn.
It's visually stunning. The game is absolutely beautiful. It's some of the best pixel art I've ever seen in a game.
Nice.
Like, still to this day. And the game is so fast-paced to the point where, like, it can be super difficult. So, as the Drifter, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to jump to these 4 main areas in the world. They all have these, like, little diamond things that you have to collect, but there's also a big bad boss at the end of every level where you can get the last diamond piece. And you're supposed to get all 4 of them, and you're supposed to figure out about this like calamity that seems to have happened in this world way before the Drifter recently woke up. And combat, like I said, it's so fast-paced. It's not something that you would expect from a pixel art game. So you have 3 main commands. First, you can dash. The dash is good for dodging at first and then getting from platform to platform. Sometimes it's a little too slow in the beginning. It doesn't want you to do a whole lot of exploring until you unlock the better dash.
Sure.
Which I think is kind of BS sometimes. The other things, too, you have a standard sword attack, and you have a gun.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the gun ammo, I think the gun ammo mechanic is really unique, where in order to get ammo back, you have to hit things, either enemies or item boxes or whatever. And as levels go on, like, it becomes progressively more and more scarce of what you can hit, except for enemies. And at that point, it's not even worth aiming your gun for these enemies because they move so fast. Like, one of the first levels, like, the game wants you to go in the far right path because it's the easiest zone. And you fight a bunch of ninja frogs.
Ninja frogs.
And they're really fast. They throw shurikens and bombs, and they got guns. It's just ninja frogs jumping all over the place.
Sounds riveting.
Oh, don't stab me with it. You're not supposed to use it for that.
Oh, I'll use it however I want.
Oh, I thought it was a good joke.
No, see, man, Don, you seem to have forgotten I have a hand again. You can't nub around with me anymore.
You're abusing it.
No, I think I'm just getting revenge right now.
Okay, fine.
Do I sound like a supervillain?
You always sound like a supervillain.
Yes.
But now you're actually super. All right, whatever.
Just seal it up. Just seal it up.
No,
just
don't
seal
touch
it.
it. Ow. All right, that's
Just
fine.
seal it up.
That's fine.
Take a deep breath in there, buddy.
Okay. Sorry. So, at what point in this game do you actually start drifting cars? At what point does it become Tokyo Drift?
You know I can shoot you. Just aim it right
Don't.
there.
No, it's a laser pointer too. It's really freaky. I can see the light. I can see the light. Stop.
I feel like I'm a dude abusing his animal, but
Donkey, prepare the protocol for emergencies.
No, Donkey, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
All right. Okay, all right. I'm done now. Hyperlight.
Okay.
Hyperlight Drifter.
All right. So Hyperlight Drifter is real fun. It's tough sometimes because the fast pace, and sometimes there's so many fucking projectiles on screen that like you can't keep track of where you are, and it doesn't help that because of the landscapes. Sometimes how they're angled, you can be behind a pillar, but you won't see yourself because of the way that the wall was drawn in the pixel art.
Right.
So there's like a good chunk of the screen where you're like, where the fuck am I? Ah! And then you get blown up by some kind of like seed bomb.
So it sounds frustrating.
It's frustrating sometimes. It can be really, really frustrating. Also, the leveling mechanic is not very conventional. So you have to buy all your upgrades, but the only way to get your upgrades is to find these yellow chips.
Uh-huh.
You need to find 4 of them to turn into one solid gold chip that becomes a currency.
Oh, that sounds annoying. Like unnecessarily like tedious.
Well, it wants you to explore. I'm like, okay, and then sometimes, very rarely, enemies will drop it. But for the most part, like trying to find upgrades for your character is very tough to do. But I think the reason why they did that is because some of the moves that you get for your upgrades break the fuck out of the game.
Okay. So
I remember getting I haven't done it in this playthrough yet. But when I first played it, I got this dash where like you press the dash and the sword button at the same time, and you just become like this fucking speeding knife. And you just slice through dudes.
Hell yeah.
It does like 2 damage. It takes up some of the ammo for your gun, but since you're already hitting enemies again, you're just like, whap, whap. Oh, I got the ammo back. And do it again.
Nice.
It's great for bosses.
Right. So you don't upgrade frequently, but when you do, it's powerful. Okay.
It lasts.
That's understandable though. There's plenty of games like that where it's like the your leveling up is just not frequent, but that's because like they, like I'm thinking of like BioShock. Like every time when you'd get a new like power, I mean like those were you felt like I felt
powerful, but all I needed was the shock and bomb.
For BioShock?
Yeah, for the first one.
Yeah.
And real life right now.
Yeah. I was actually just going to ask, is that why you were so quick to knife me before? Because you were used to knifing people in Hyperlight Drifter?
Yeah, I've become very quick at the draw. Plus the fact that, I haven't really had any good way of defending myself except with my legs, and you've seen these things. Like this ain't leg day.
I know.
Like they're noodly.
Yeah. Well, and they're shorter. Like they're shorter than they should be. So it's more comical. Like whenever you try and run away, it's very cartoony, and it's I understand you're not able to protect yourself.
I walk like I'm a South Park character.
Yeah, they're like T-Rex arms, but they're your legs. And so it's.
I'm surprised that I could have fit a whole mushroom in my leg before.
It was a tinier mushroom, It was not. It wasn't like gigantic, but yeah, they're interesting. They're interesting.
I'm glad everyone knows that I'm so short.
Hey,
really paint a picture.
I always have found it charming. I've always found it to be a charming trait.
That I'm like a half dwarf. Yes. I'm half halfling. Quarterling.
But even dwarves and hobbits, I've like run like a humanoid.
Well, because they're proportional.
I know. Your proportions are all off.
See, I have to orangutan it sometimes, where I have to use both arms. And
now that is cool. Like when you're running on your arms and like you have your knuckles down, like that's cool.
I haven't been able to do that for weeks though.
I would be curious to see you try it now you got the robot hand going.
I mean, I've got one, but like that'll throw off my balance. I feel like I'm gonna.
Tell you what you do, get a wheel on one of those knuckles and you just lay that down, have that be your one leg, like balance on your one arm.
If I put wheels on my knees too, and then I just become a human luge board.
Then who's laughing?
everyone because I'll look like a fucking idiot.
And it probably won't go very
This was a
fast.
bad idea.
It probably won't go very
These
fast.
are bad ideas, Don.
And when you meet Stairs, arch nemesis, you can't. What are you gonna do?
I've never been great at stairs, but with this hand, I can just blow up the stairs.
Yeah, you can make a ramp. Make a ramp anywhere.
No, just get rid of them altogether. If I can't go upstairs, no one can.
Right, and then just make reduce the world to one level. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So, Hyperlight Drifter. That sounds fun.
Hyperlight Drifter. It's a phenomenal game. I say it runs best on PC because I know they did a patch where it's like 60 frames a second. So play it on PC if you can, but it's on everything else
Cool.
except Switch.
That's fun.
But that's because it's new.
Very, very nice.
Very cool. How about you, Don? Did you do something again?
Yeah, I did. I've been. I haven't finished it yet, but I have been. I've been watching something on Netflix. It's the new season of Jessica Jones, and I'll tell you. I will tell you right now, going into it. You know, I did not have any expectations for it.
Should we give like a brief summation of our opinion of the Marvel Netflix shows? Just to
briefly,
just to get across to the audience.
Briefly, I will say Greg and I kind of both feel like the market's super saturated with Marvel and superhero stuff, and Netflix in general, it follows this antiquated TV model of scheduling where they feel like they need to do 13 episodes for whatever reason.
And it shouldn't be.
And a lot of the time, shows drag because they're abiding by that model.
And Jessica Jones was a perfect example of that because
yes,
I'll testify for the first 8 episodes of Jessica Jones, solid.
Good stuff.
Solid, good stuff. Yeah, there's some dumbness to it, but I think that was part of Jessica's character, so it worked. But then it kept going for 4 more episodes, and it was fucking stupid.
And the thing is, the payoffs and the things that you're looking for, and the plot developments, and everything that they convey over the course of those 13 episodes, that could be done in 8 or 9 episodes, and they could all be really fucking good episodes.
They would be a lot more solidified. They wouldn't have to stretch out character progression.
Yes.
It would just be fucking done.
And so it's just, when you think about why they're doing this, like regular over-the-air TV schedules, their regular, amount of episodes per season is like 26, because that's half the year for, like 1 per week or whatever, and 13's half of that. And a lot of stations started doing that. AMC started doing it for mid-season breaks and whatever reason. But it's just, that's kind of a standard now. Like 13 episodes is just a thing. For Netflix to abide by that as an on-demand streaming service, it just doesn't make any sense. And so when you have, because of it, your content gets more watered down and people are sitting there feeling like shows drag over 13 episodes.
Like, look at Iron Fist. That show started dragging like 2 episodes in.
I fucking hate Iron Fist.
Iron Fist was bad.
And I hate that it's like that he is such a crucial part of the Defenders. Like, the Defenders could have been good too.
No, he could have been a great character. The problem was that entire season was just garbage writing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll tell you, getting back to Jessica Jones season 2, I will say that there's a lot about this season that surprisingly really grabbed me. But ultimately, it falls victim to that same thing we were just talking about, what's known as the Netflix bloat. It's too long. 13 episodes, it's unnecessary. There are a lot of good subplots in this season. The side characters
Nothing
go
like,
through things.
the pills dude who randomly decided, I'm going to murder this cop because I can.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was nothing like that bad. And the characters, what they do and the directions they go, a lot of them do make sense. But there are, I'm trying not to spoil anything either, so I'm going to be like a little bit vague. But I will just say that
Jessica Jones finally got pregnant with Luke Cage's child.
it's pretty fucked up, man. Yeah,
Did she finally get pregnant by Luke Cage?
No, and I haven't.
Why?
And I haven't finished the season. I've got like 3 episodes left. But Luke Cage, I haven't seen any. The only crossover character that I've seen is Foggy from Daredevil. He's the only crossover character I've
the
seen.
The worst part of Daredevil.
Yeah, and he was in one scene.
What about Rosario Dawson? Was she there?
Haven't seen her yet. No.
You know what?
If she's
you
in
know
it or
what?
not.
Good.
I like Rosario Dawson.
I like her too, but sometimes, especially with Luke Cage, she bloated it.
Yeah. But okay, but I was there are there's an addiction subplot in this season 2, right? Like, it has to do with like some of the side characters that from like season 1, and the path that it goes down, like, compelling. Like, it was good stuff. And some of the writing in there, too, like, some of it is actually really good, but it's punctuated by really bad writing. Really, like, meaningless exaltations.
Nothing like her calling an adoption agency or whatever from Defenders.
Right.
She's like, wow, great, and then hangs up.
Yeah. Yeah. I never got anything. Right. But no, but it's like there's one that sticks out in my head, and it has to do with the lawyer Trish, or not Trish, Trinity from Matrix, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
She's like the lawyer and everything, Hogarth or whatever.
She's the stone cold bitch.
Yeah.
And her girlfriend killed herself.
She goes through something in this season, and basically there's a scene where she's having a discussion with her partners at the law firm, and they're like, it gets contested, and it gets into this like heated argument kind of a thing, but they're still being really cool. It's just very tense, and then like the conversation starts to like devolve a little bit, like it starts to unravel, and then it basically ends by one of the characters going like Trinity says, you know, that's not a, that what you're saying is not a valid concern, and then her partner goes, oh yes it is, why don't you just ask your dead girlfriend? Pause. It's like, and then I'm sitting there thinking, I laughed out loud. There are moments when I literally like laugh out loud because the show is good. Like,
man, you would have been able to nail this case out if your fucking girlfriend wasn't dead. You would be on the top of your game because all you would say is, man, I'm getting so much at all.
Yeah.
But you can't because your girlfriend is dead.
Exactly. It's exactly like that.
That exact tone, too.
That exact
Your
tone.
girlfriend's dead.
What a fuck all writing thing to do.
That's what I mean.
Just to add this like element of, now we gotta see Trinity mad.
Right, and that's what I mean. As I was like, there are these, like I said, there's compelling subplots. There are these things that are like,
I
really,
feel like-
they make you want to keep watching.
I feel
but
like
then you
these
see
Netflix
that.
shows are written for like young teens, but it's a fucking mature show.
I know.
Because they drop F-bombs, there's fucking like mature content, like there's constant sex.
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
There's
And-
a lot of like adult themes of like drug use and shit.
That's-
But then it's got this fucking writing like it's a fan fiction.
Right, like it's an after-school special on some fucking kids network or whatever.
Like,
It's
I
like,
don't
wow.
like if you want to go full on gritty with these Netflix shows, then fucking do it.
Right, I know.
Don't just half-ass it with the your girlfriend is dead.
I know. And then, like I said, like they just sit there and they pause, and it's like somebody else like starts the conversation again. But it's like, why would you even do that? So
What does it add to the scene? What
Nothing.
does it add?
Nothing. They have to go a completely different direction. Like it throws. That's what I mean. It throws a wrench into the middle of the thing, and for a moment, I'm thrown out of the entire thing, and I laugh out loud. And that happens a few times over the course of the season. I'm genuinely engaged with something that's going on in the plot. Like, I'm actually hooked into it. It makes me want to watch the next episode, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, there's this exchange between characters, and the writing is so bad that I find myself thrown back and, like, laughing out loud at how bad it is. Not because it's funny, but because, like, I cannot believe that they actually just did that.
I can't believe that someone went, yes.
Right.
She really needs to know.
Right.
She needs to remember. Remember, because it's been about 3 years since the last season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, just about.
Just remember, her
Girlfriend is dead.
But I will say, two of the things that you just mentioned, like the swearing and the sex and stuff. There's a great scene in this season.
Scene where you got to see everything.
Well, no. I mean, well, I was going to say
Take a
first.
screen cap.
No, I was going to say first that there's Trish goes on a rant on her radio show where she's like, you know, she basically like, you know, goes off the rails and fucking like talks.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, and it's actually really good. Like, it's well written. The way she does it, like, was really good, and I was engaged in that, and the way that like that it ends and stuff, I was like, this is actually really cool. So that was something that I maybe, and it's full of swears and all that great stuff. But another thing about this season that I thought was good was there's some great sex scenes, like really really good stuff, like between
You pervert.
yeah okay.
Disgusting.
Really, I'm the one who's disgusting. Who's the one with that and then it vibrates? Who's the one who did that?
Me.
Yeah, you. and I'm the pervert because I'm enjoying some quality.
Because this is just between me and...
Produced sex
This isn't
scenes
something that I just bring up in the
superheroes.
open. This isn't something that I just bring into the conversation like, oh, it's...
Now everyone knows.
Oh, not until I cut this out.
Damn it. It's staying in. It stays.
Nah.
One last thing I'll say about Jessica Jones. There's this, a new character is introduced in this season. And, again, won't spoil anything, but the actress who plays her is Janet McTeer. And she's this English actress, and she's got a pretty, like, good, a storied career here. She's been in a lot of different...
anything else that she's been in?
She's in Maleficent. She's in, let me see... A lot of romantic comedies I'm looking at here. Insurgent.
You can let go of my hand. I can just scroll on the internet for you.
No, I want to see this.
I've got Wi-Fi.
Damages. Island. Cat Run. Psychoville. Yeah, okay, so nothing huge. But I just want to say her performance in this is actually really good.
Okay.
There's a couple moments where, because of what her character is going through and what happens, it's like a little goofy, and it also made me laugh out loud a couple of times. But genuinely, she's also a really good actress, like very compelling. And some of the scenes that she's in are like really like, again, it takes you to the other end of the spectrum of like, wow, this is really good TV.
Good.
But then, like I said, then it'll fall off.
And then it gets fucking terrible where it's like,
yeah,
I'm going to kill myself, and that way Kilgore won't kill me.
Yeah, I know. Kilgrave. And I was wondering about Jessica Jones without Kilgrave. Like, without David Tennant in it, I didn't know how good it was going to be. And, yeah, it's... I still think it's, if you like Marvel, if you like, it's still worth watching. It's good. It's just going into it that there are some moments that are really going to make you like scratch your head.
Like that cringe moment, like,
yeah. Like, why is that happening?
That full-blown wince where like your whole face scrunches in. Like you licked a lemon. Not like you farted.
No, like, but sorry about that, by the way.
No, you're not.
I'm not at all. I feel it's good. I feel a lot better. Do you ever have warheads? Do you ever try those?
Yeah, I love warheads. It
Me
sounds
too.
like you've been sucking on a couple right now. Your throat's a little...
Yeah, I have a couple. That, once you put them in the same spot over and over, you kind of burn holes in like the flesh in there. So
I'm glad to know that you've been hiding some in your tonsils.
You know how some people like to like dip? They'll put like the chewing tobacco packs, like little packets in their points of their mouth and stuff, and it'll like eventually like burn holes in that area of their mouth.
But you do that with warheads?
I do that with warheads because I was like, it's a stupid, disgusting habit to like spit and do the chewing tobacco, but warheads are fucking tasty. But I have this little pouch, like, right in my throat that I always slip the warhead back into, and so now it's burnt a little bit.
Yeah, dude, you're starting to look like you're a chain smoker. But, wouldn't that be embarrassing? Like, you go to the free clinic and you're like,
This hole in my throat.
it's like, oh, you've been smoking so much, sir.
No.
Raspberry warheads.
And they give me, like, a stoma because of it.
And they're like...
I need another black cherry warhead.
They do like the Zoidberg thing where they're like, all right, we need to clear out your throat and make sure that you've got nothing in there. All right. And they take out like a warhead, like, ooh, and then you pop it back in your mouth and they pull it back out again. Like, why? Why do you do this to us?
It's so sour.
Why do you do this to us, son? We try to help you. Your insurance may be crap, but I want you to be better.
I'm glad you're here.
I know. You would have died years ago.
Take your finger out of my throat.
I can't help it. I'm trying to find if you have any cancer. Just around the rim. Let's get a little wet.
Your tongue.
And then Don lost his throat virginity.
Oh, it was long gone.
This robot
it was
hand's helping me
long
see
gone
in the
before
future,
then.
too.
Oh, boy.
I think. Or it might just be sending me brainwaves.
That is one thing I'm worried about with you. Now that you're starting to actually mesh with the machine, I don't know when it's going to start taking over or whatever.
I think I'll be fine.
But
I haven't had problems with foreign entities on top of my body. Anyway, I saw a movie.
Oh, what is it? What did you see?
I saw a movie. It's called Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
Donnie, how much do you love Nicolas Cage?
It's a love-hate thing.
How much do you love crazy Nicolas Cage?
A lot. Love it. Love it a lot.
Donnie boy, I got a movie for you.
Mom and Dad?
So I watched Mom and Dad using the now Wi-Fi in my hand, I've been able to connect to Netflix, and I can just watch it wherever the fuck I want.
It's pretty sweet, man.
It's just convenient.
Actually, you should really.
I don't have to, sneak into people's houses or break into Best Buys to watch TV anymore.
You should really patent that.
No, it's mine.
I know. That's why you should patent it.
No, it's mine.
But if you patent it,
I'm not going to give it to Pat.
No. When you patent it, you register it with the Copyright Office. You get protection because.
Wow,
it's
that
your
sounds like a
invention.
bunch of numbers shit that I don't care about. Anyway, Mom and Dad.
Fine, don't.
So Mom and Dad is, Children of the Corn, where all the kids go crazy and they murder all the adults.
Oh, you're talking about those kids that gather around the popcorn factory down on 5th?
Not only them, but the movie.
Oh.
Based on the events of them roaming around cornfields and killing adults.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
They switched the roles. This time, now the adults want to kill the children.
Whoa.
So,
grim.
this movie is so bad it's good. It's by the guy who made fucking Crank.
Oh, wow.
And you'd expect it to be just a little bit better. But it's so bad.
Crank.
Oh, but it's so dumb.
Who else is in it besides Nicolas Cage?
I can't really remember or care about anyone else in the movie.
Okay.
All I saw was Nicolas Cage's face, and he is... So, there's some kind of widespread disease that's going on called savaging.
Oh.
Much like what the pigs do, because that's what they're trying to connect it to. That humans have started savaging, which is something that pig mothers will kill their infants just because.
Huh.
It's a very rare occurrence, but it happens.
It's a bacon thing.
It's a bacon thing.
Yeah, I can understand.
So in this scenario, all the adults who have children start to go crazy and they want to hunt down their children and murder them. Savage. Their children only. But then the movie can't make up its mind whether or not they want to kill their own children or just any children.
Oh.
So, there's an amazing scene early on that solidifies how bad this movie is. Nicolas Cage is taking care of his son before he goes to work. His wife and daughter already left. His wife is going to drop her off at school. And he's playing around and fucking around with the kid. And he grabs the son, and he's supposed to be playfully throwing him on the sofa, and then he starts tickling him.
Oh no.
But the way it's shot, he fucking slam dunks this kid into the sofa cushions. He fucking Kobe Bryant's just
yes, right.
just smother him right into it. And then he goes, "I'm gonna tickle you." But the way he's tickling, he makes his hands out like Mr. Burns, where they're flat out and then they're just wiggling, and then it does the horror movie editing where you hear white noise and static effects as the camera keeps shifting to Nicolas Cage going, "Tickle you, I'm gonna tickle you," and the son just going, "Yay, Daddy!"
Oh my God, ew.
He starts walking away and he's like, "All right, boy, I have to go to work. You stay here and you be safe and whatever." And the kid, as a joke, picks up a soccer ball and he throws it at the back of the dad's head. And he's like, "Ha, I got you, Dad," because they've been playing around. And then Nicolas Cage turns around and he does the crazy face. It's just blank stare into the sun before a happy smile. But as the movie goes on, it's just watching Nicolas Cage and his wife go fucking insane trying to kill their children in their house.
Wow.
They constantly they get this they get a sawzall. It's a type of saw, it saws all.
Oh, a sawzall.
Get ready to hear that joke 5 times.
Good Lord.
Because the wife finds the saw and they're trying to get into the basement where the kids are hiding. And the wife sees it and immediately she goes, "The saws all. Saws all."
Okay, I'm already sick of this.
Hands it to Nicolas Cage, and then not even 30 seconds, saws all. Saws all.
No.
And he starts fucking sawing the door, but as he's doing it, he's doing the Nicolas Cage scream, the "ah!"
That sounds hilarious.
It's so bad. It's so good.
Yeah, that sounds
I haven't
funny.
watched a hilarious bad movie like this in years.
That sounds really funny.
It's so funny. It's so stupid.
All right, cool. All right.
Just watching, because like it cuts to other like kid characters, like the daughter's boyfriend, like his dad tries to kill him, but there's editing in it. So his dad meets him in the house, and his dad fucking backhands him across the face. And the son is just like, yo, what the fuck, man? He grabs a bottle, breaks it, and tries to cut the son. They're struggling, but the dad falls on top of the broken bottle on his throat. And he's bleeding and dying. And the son is trying to go over and help him, and he's like, Dad, let me help. But the whole time, the dad's still trying to kill him. And there's a shot where the kid goes, Dad, no, Dad! But the dad's hand is all the way in his mouth.
Oh.
But you hear the editing like, no, Dad, no!
Oh, I see. Right. So you know that it just would not sound like that at all.
The movie is riddled with these continuity errors and shit. Like later in the movie,
Dad, no!
Dad, oh.
Yeah.
There's a shot later in the movie where like Nicolas Cage and his son are just fucking around and talking with each other, and the kid is eating a popsicle. But every single time they change the shot, there's more or less popsicle.
Perfect.
Like the first shot, you see like the red, white, and blue of the firework popsicle.
Perfect.
Then the next shot, it's only the white and blue. Then it's a little bit of the red still left at top. Then it's only the blue.
Oh my God! Yes, that's exactly what I want.
The dialogue is fucking terrible. There's some like weird edits, like where Nicolas Cage screams, but it does like a white noise static, like a horror movie trailer.
Yeah.
It sounds like they just got like the static sound effect from a movie trailer and just put that in. They're like, that will scare the children.
Just peppered it in wherever. Yeah.
It's so bad, Don. Oh my God.
This sounds like a lot of fun. Actually,
I couldn't get over how fucking funny it is.
Oh, that's excellent.
Saws.
Oh. Well, that sounds excellent. Okay, what was the name of that movie? Mom and Dad?
Mom and Dad.
Okay, so Mom and Dad. Greg recommends it, says it's so bad it's good. Actually, Greg, that sounds wonderful. I'm actually, why don't you and I, we're going to ride donkey. We're going to ditch this boxcar. We're going to go ride to the Freak Clinic to make sure that your hand's healing okay, and then we got to go get some food. Freak promised me a meal next time we came down there. So let's go get Freak.
Yeah, Freak gets his hands on some good Chinese food, buddy.
So we'll go down there. We're going to eat that food on the
Show
way.
him my streak, too.
Yeah, I definitely want to have him take a look at that as well. I need to have him take a look at this gash in my stomach also, because this is starting to...
watch this. Check this out.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
No,
check this out.
not the... Ow. Ow, there's
He sealed it up.
fur in there. There's fur in there now.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's safely contained.
Okay, so
he's very good at suturing.
Okay, so Freak will take a look at that too. On the way over, we'll ride the donkey, and I'm actually going to watch Mom and Dad on your little Palm Pilot there, so that we can, so that I can enjoy that on the way.
Unless I'm not using the hand already.
Okay, I hope you're not. But
I'm using it right now.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that on the way over there. Anyway, though, Mom and Dad, so bad it's good. Check that one out. Jessica Jones, certainly not as bad it sounds like as Mom and Dad, but there are moments where you'll also laugh out loud because of how bad it is.
If you have to rank it in the Marvel TV shows that you've seen so far, how would you rank it?
I would put it a little bit. I actually like it so far from what I've seen. I like it a little better than the first season of Jessica Jones. I think it's better than Iron Fist and Luke Cage, but not as good as Daredevil. That's kind of where I rank that stuff. So Jessica Jones, not bad if you like Marvel. Check it out. What was the game you played?
It was Hyperlight Drifter.
Hyperlight Drifter. That sounded fun.
And Super Hot. Super Hot. Super Hot.
Yeah, first-person shooter. Check that one out on whatever platform you play games on.
More of a puzzle game, really.
Take your pick. Strategy for the time shift, and then first-person shooting. But it's a lot of fun. Definitely check that one out. Greg, donkey, let's get going. Let's get ready to go. All right. Okay.
Come here, boy.
All right, good buddy.
It sucks clapping my hand because I only have one.
Come on, we got some sugar cubes over here. Let's get ready.
Come on, boy. Come here.
Let's pack this up. Let's pack up this thing.
All right, boys. Later.
Here we go.